Okay, I know this is uncanon. The creator of SpongeBob said that this episode didn't exist. So, yeah. But the thing is, why did I do this to myself, man? You know, this possible chance I might do a third one. Depending on how many views this gets. Why did I do this to myself, man?
Wouldn't it be cool if my dad got me another box of Staples? Yeah, he probably got me this for my birthday.
Yeah.
Just can't wait for me to die, can you?
Ladies and gentlefish, Bikini Bottom's
I just don't know why I do this to myself, man.
Squidward tentacles.
Okay. I just can't really say nothing. I know something donk's gonna happen. Okay. Alright. Okay, never mind.
Due to the overwhelming number of requests I have received to tell about my discoveries and bizarre experiences in a cave not far from my home, I have created this webpage. I will outline the events that happened to me during these past few months, beginning with my journey into a familiar cave in December 2000, and ending, well, it hasn't actually ended yet. I will use my caving journal as a text to tell about my recent experience. I will give them to you as I experience them, in chronological order. I have included photographs that were taken during my many trips into the cave. I have also created a few illustrations to help the reader get a better idea of what things look like in the cave. All of the photos were taken by me, or one of the few people I went into the cave with. I want to point out a few things before I tell about the events. Number 1. Most of the pictures were taken with a Kodak disposable type camera. I took a better camera into the cave on one or two of the trips. Pictures on this site are all original photos and have not been messed with or enhanced other than where noted. As a rule, I get my pictures put on a disc all the time of developing so I don't have to scan them later. This ensures the best digital quality. I will not reveal the names of the other
Well, I can
people
see why it's a
involved
very
in the
long
experience.
creepypasta.
If you know me well enough,
Very detailed of
you
what's
probably
going
know
on.
them already. And finally, I will not reveal the location of the cave to anyone for any reason. So please don't ask. I refuse to be held accountable for anyone's life but my own. I'm going to refer to this cave
Yeah,
as
explain
Mystery
how you
Cave,
died.
and that is not its real name. If you think these events sound far-fetched, I agree. I mean, I'd come to the same conclusion had I not experienced them. I will try to finish the site as soon as possible. Check the date on the main page to see when I've made updates. To protect myself from people who might want to copy this, I will include the following. All text on this and following pages are my own words and copyright 2011. Ted. I will divide the text into two colors for the sake of clarity. The plain text is taken directly from my caving journal. The italicized text is my comment as I reflect on the experience.
Creepypasta that's
I will
being
do my
read
best
is
to
like
convey the thoughts
an hour
and
long.
feelings I had during the entire event.
Divided into
I will
three
not use
parts.
the actual names of the other individuals
Let's see what's
involved.
very
I will
long.
include the entire relevant text of my journal. Only small parts I will skip. This will only occur when the entry has nothing to do with the experience in the cave, such as eating dinner after a trip or getting fuel or snacks, relevant details. I will merely summarize what I'm cutting out of the actual entry. In an effort to present this experience in as accurate light as possible, I will type my journal as I wrote it. Sans grammar check. Please overlook my errors.
Can't even imagine what the rest of the pasta is
comments
like.
will help to clarify the things I wrote in my journal. Caving Journal 12/30/2000. B and I decided to get in one more caving trip before the new year, so we set our sights on Mystery Cave. Not a spectacular cave, but since neither of us had been caving in a while, it'd be nice to go to any cave. There was a bit of excitement to this trip. There was a small passage in the lower portion of the cave that I wanted to check out to see if it was possible to get past it.
At the beginning, it sounds
It had a small
like
opening,
alright, this is like the
but lots of air
first 5
blowing out of
minutes.
it. Even
But
though
the rest
it was
of
way
it
too small
got
to climb
feeling
through. I had
getting
never
dark
even
very
checked to see what was
quickly.
inside the passage.
And this is
We
like
got our
divided in 3
gear
parts.
loaded up
Like
and
all
hit the
those 3
road
parts are
by
like an hour
3
long.
p.m. We got to the cave in great time, since B likes to drive fast.
Squidward
We
suicide.
anchored from the
The
usual
moment
tree
the fish
and
will
began
have
to rappel
bloody
into the
eyes.
cave. I went down
I was
first
done.
and got my gear together while B came down.
You know, that's the
I will
thing
refer
about
to B many
Creepypasta. Like,
times.
everything
We've
has
been
bloody
together for many
eyes.
months now. He was injured in a caving
That's
accident a
somewhat
few
like
years ago and was
originality.
told he'd never walk
Which is why,
again.
gives me a reason
Through
that
hard work
Creepypasta
and
is somewhat
perseverance,
fake.
he
Because
not only
everything
walks,
has
but
bloody
he
eyes.
can
Like,
run very well in
Sun.ex.
caves. The trickier
Like,
parts of the
Squidward
cave might
suicide.
slow him
Like,
down a
everything
bit.
got bloody
He
eyes and red eyes.
patiently works through an obstacle until he gets past it. As for the reference to the small opening in the cave, there's a saying among cavers: if it blows, it goes. Meaning, if a passage has a good flow of air, it's probably worth investigating. After we explored all of the usual passages, we climbed down to check the hole. The hole is located deep in the cave, near the lowest part. It is on the side of the
next
cave
is
wall,
Penpal.
about 3 feet from the floor.
That guy fancy got scared of the
To
crap
look
out of me.
inside
That's
the
an
hole, I
hour
had to kneel
long.
down and duck under an overhang of rock.
This is long, so I apologise for that. I've never had to tell this story with enough detail to actually explain it all the way. But it is true, and it happened when I was around 6 years old.
Okay.
In a quiet room.
When I
if you
first
press
started
your ear
this, I
against the
thought,
pillow,
it was
you
an
can hear
introduction,
your
but then when
heartbeat.
he said,
As
well,
a
I'm 6 year
child,
old, I
the
realized
muffled,
it's a story,
rhythmic
actual
beat sounded
creepypasta.
like soft footsteps on a carpeted floor. So, as a kid, almost every night, just as I was about to drift off to sleep, I would hear these footsteps and I would be ripped back into consciousness, terrified. For my entire childhood,
Yeah, the
I
shows
lived
of being
with
a
my
6 year
mother in
old.
a fairly nice neighborhood that was in a transitional phase. People of lower economic means were gradually moving in, and my mother and I were 2 of these people. We lived in the kind of house you see being transported in 2 pieces on an interstate, but my mom took good care of it. There were a lot of woods surrounding the neighborhood that I would play in and explore during the day, but at night, as things often do to a kid, they took a more sinister feeling.
Because you're 6 and you're
This,
afraid of the dark.
coupled with the fact that, due to the nature of our house, there was a fairly large crawl space underneath, filled my mind with imaginary monsters and inescapable scenarios which would
Remind
consume
of a
my
6 year old,
thoughts
am I
when I
right?
was awoken by the footsteps. I told my mom about the footsteps, and she said that I was just imagining things. I persisted enough that she blasted my ears with water from a turkey baster once just to placate me, since I thought that it would help. Of course, it didn't. Despite all the creepiness and footsteps, the only weird thing that ever happened was that every now and then I would wake up on the bottom bunk, despite having gone to sleep on the top. But
Sleepwalking?
this wasn't really weird, since I'd sometimes get up to pee or get something to drink.
No
and
wonder this is like
could
3 hours
remember
long.
just
The
going back to
detailed
sleep on the bottom
storytelling.
bunk. I'm an only child, so it didn't matter.
I used to be alone trying when I
This
was
would
6
happen
too.
once or twice a week, but waking up on the bottom bunk wasn't too terrifying. But one night, I didn't wake up on the bottom bunk. I heard the footsteps, but was too far gone to be woken up by them. And when I was awoken, it wasn't from the sound of footsteps or a nightmare, but because I was cold. Really cold. When I opened my eyes,
I don't
saw
like this now.
stars. I was in the woods. I sat up immediately and tried to figure out what was going on. I thought I
Nice
was
moon,
dreaming,
though.
but that didn't seem right, though neither did me being in the woods. There was a deflated pool float right in front of me, one of those shaped like a shark. This only added to the surreal feeling, but after a while, it seemed like I just wasn't going to wake up because I wasn't asleep. I stood up to orient myself, but I didn't recognize these woods. I played in the woods by my
Why do I
house
do this
all
to
the
myself,
time,
man?
so I knew them really well. But if these weren't the same woods, then how could I get out? I took a step and felt a shooting pain in my foot, which knocked me back to where I'd just been laying. I'd stepped on a thorn. By the light of the moon, I could see that they were everywhere. I looked at my other foot, but it was fine. And as a matter of fact, so was the rest of me.
Okay.
I didn't have another scratch on me, and
I don't trust this
I
no
wasn't
more,
even
so
that dirty.
I'm
I
gonna
cried
skip
for a
it.
little bit and then stood back up. I didn't know which way to go, so I just picked a
Yeah, 3
direction.
hours of this? No thank you. I just
resisted
deal with
the
the first
urge
5
to
minutes,
call out,
so...
since I wasn't sure
Kinda
I
Cove
wanted to be
next.
found by who or what might be out there. I walked for what seemed like hours. I tried to walk in a straight line and tried to course correct when I had to take a detour. But I was just a kid and I was afraid.
Yeah, I'm
There
afraid
weren't
too.
any howls or screams, and only once did I hear any noise that scared me.
Okay, no, I'm done.
To Kennel Cove. Was it about pirates? I remember a pirate marionette at the
I really
mouth
love
of
the
a
acting,
cave
though.
talking to a little girl.
Yes, okay, I'm not crazy.
Yeah, I wish, like,
I remember
my,
Pirate
like,
Percy.
RPG
I
stories,
was always kind of
it's about
scared
Finance
of
Affairs
him.
would be like this.
He looked like he was
The third one
built
would be
from
like
parts
this.
of other dolls. Real low budget. His head was an old porcelain baby
But I was
doll.
really hoping, you
Looked
know,
like an
that
antique that didn't belong in the body.
RPG, the Biome 7
I
would be
don't
like
remember
this.
what station this
I
was.
couldn't find
I
voice
don't
actors
think
and
it was
actresses, so I had to get everything on my
WTSF,
own.
though.
Sorry to resurrect this old thread, but I know exactly what show you mean, Sky Shale.
Yeah.
I think Candle Cove ran for a couple of months in 71, not 72.
Ray
I was
RPG
12
and
and I
Ray
watched it
RPG
a few
that
times with my
7
brother.
that I wrote myself.
It was channel 58.
Like, Ray RPG
Whatever
is like 15
station that
pages
was.
long.
My mum
The
would let me
sequel to
switch to it after the
That's a
news.
prequel.
Let me see what I remember.
Like, half of that.
It took place in Candle Cove, and it was about a little girl who imagined herself to be friends with pirates. The pirate ship was called the Lapping Stock, and Pirate Percy wasn't a very good pirate because he got scared too easily. And there was calliope music
I don't really know,
constantly
like,
playing.
what the thing is.
I don't remember the girl's
I'm
name.
not gonna spoil nothing.
Janice, or
Just...
Jade or something. I think it was Janice.
Thanks, Jaren. Memories flooded back when you
Really
mentioned
love
the
the voice
laughing stock
acting,
at
though.
Channel 58. I remember the bow of the ship was a wooden smiling face with the lower jaw submerged. It looked like it was swallowing the sea, and it had that awful Ed Wynn voice and laugh. I especially remember how jarring it was when they switched from the wooden plastic model to the foam puppet version of the head that talked.
I remember now too. Do you remember this part, Skyshale? You have to go inside.
Ugh. Mike, I got a chill reading that. Yes, I remember. That's what the ship always told Percy when there was a spooky place he had to go in. Like a cave or a dark room where the treasure was. And the camera would push in on Laughingstock's face with each pause. You
Okay, see,
have to go
at the beginning it seems okay, but when it gets deeper,
with his
that was the
two
dark
eyes
part of it.
askew and that flopping
That's when I'm
bone
just
jaw
using,
and
like,
the fishing line that opened and closed it. Ugh!
Squidward Suicide,
It just looks so cheap and awful.
Penpal.
You guys remember
Penpal's
the
like 3
villain?
hours long.
He had a face that was just a
I'm not a big
handlebar
fan of
mustache
horror
above
movies because
really
it's fake, but
tall
people reading
front
horror,
teeth.
like, I feel like, you know, because I'm imagining it.
I honestly thought the villain was Pirate Percy. I was about 5 when the show was on. Nightmare
That
fuel.
wasn't the
Kevin
villain,
Hart.
the puppet with the mustache. That was the villain's sidekick, Horace
Damn,
Horrible.
Kevin. But he make a
He
guest
had a monocle
appearance.
too, but it was on top of the mustache. I used to think that meant he had only one eye. But yeah, the villain was another marionette, the Skin Taker. I can't believe what they used to let us watch back then.
Yeah.
Jesus H. Christ. The Skin Taker. What kind of a kid show were we watching? I seriously could not even look at the screen when the Skin Taker showed up. He just descended out of nowhere on his strings. Just a dirty skeleton wearing that brown
Okay, now it's
top
starting to
hat
get
and
dark. And that's when I'm
his
going
glass
to
eyes
lose
that
it.
were too big for his skull. Christ almighty.
Wasn't his top hat and cloak all sewn up crazily? Was that supposed to be children's skin?
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep,
think
now
so.
it's starting to get dark.
Remember his mouth didn't open and close, his jaw just slid back and forth? I remember the little girl said, "Why does your mouth move like that?" And the Skin Taker didn't look at the girl but at the camera and said,
Okay,
To
why are we
grind
reacting
your
to
skin.
Creepypasta like the first
Oh, I'm
part?
so relieved
That was
that
like,
other people
you know, my
remember
sixth
this terrible
reaction.
show.
I was like, should I have
I used to
done? I
have
should have
this
left the room because
A bad
Creepypasta, that was
dream
when I
had
started
when
watching
the opening
it.
jingle ended. The show faded
But
in from black. All
this,
the
I don't even
characters
want to
were
see
there.
like fully.
But the camera was just cutting to each of their faces. And they were just
Yeah, see, it's starting to get really dark.
and the puppets and
And-
marionettes were flailing spastically,
Yeah. These Creepypastas I'm not going to watch again
screaming,
because that's too dark.
screaming.
These are the most popular ones.
The
Can't even imagine what I'm going to
just
watch for the
moaning
third
and
one
crying
when I react to
for
Creepypasta the third
hours
time.
of this. I woke up many times from that nightmare. I used to wet the bed.
Well, at least you know I'm a wuss about these Creepypastas because they're straight popular. No wonder they're popular. They're scary as hell.
I don't think that was a dream. I remember that.
I know we'll
that
remember
was an
this, so
episode.
thanks for watching. Goodbye. Superwoman. Hey.